Hello everybody, today we have to study unit number 4. Now look at the title of unit number 4, breakthrough. Can you understand the meaning of the word breakthroughs? Yes, it means that it's something relating to the discoveries. It means that you have to create or you discover something new or important for the life. It means in Vietnamese is đột phá. Yes, today we study something related to the title breakthroughs. Now look at the proverb of the English. If at first you don't succeed, try again. So what does it mean? Can you understand? Yes, you have to do a lot of times and do something the second time or the third time in order to improve, in order to make something better for your life. Can you give me the same proverb in Vietnam? Yes, học được, học mãi. Maybe the other is thất bại là mẹ thành công. So you have to try your best to do a lot of things in order to improve the life or improve yourself. Now look at the table. You have to discuss some questions related to the topic. The first, what are breakthroughs? The second, what breakthrough in the technology, politics, or economics do you think have brought the most benefit to the human being? Describe a situation where persistence as expressed in the proverb had paid off for you. Now the first questions I have explained before. It means that it is an important discovery in the society. And the second, I think that we can use a lot of technologies, a lot of new equipment in the society in order to make our life better or make the work easier. Now, who can give me some breakthroughs in the society? Okay, now the next, number 3, we have to describe a situation. It means that the situation related to the proverb, try again if you don't succeed or if you are not successful. Yes, in your life you have some experiment, so you can give me some examples. Okay, now the next, before we go to the main parts of the reading, now can you guess what topic relating to the title? Okay, the title we have to study is Trees for Democracy. Now, Tree for Democracy, what does it mean? It means that tree is very important in the life. And democracy is mean that the government of a country. So you have to do something to the trees in order to change or in order to improve the government or the democracies of a country. What countries? Can you guess what country these topics we can talk about? Now, before we can answer this, now please look at the vocabularies. Now the first word, advocate. Corrupt, conflict, conservation, cycle. Now the first word means the second, the third, the fourth, number 5. Now the next vocabulary you have to learn. Complex, degradation, democracy, deterioration. Now the word complex means phức tạp. Yes, number 7. It means that you make something worse and worse. They have no values. Giảm giá trị. Now democracies. It is talk about the governments of the country. Chế độ dân chủ. Now the next word, deterioration. Now this word pronounced very difficult, so you have to pay attention to the pronunciation. Deterioration. You make something worse. Now the next, nutritious, ecological, erosion, harassment. Now number 10, the meanings of the words depends on the definition is dinh dưỡng gas. Now number 11. Number 11, I think that is very familiar with that. So today we have a tour related to the ecology. It means that du lịch sinh thái, co-ecotourism. Now number 12, erosion means you make something. It means that something is the value of something is lower and lower, or something you make it become smaller and smaller. Sự ăn mòn. Now the next word, harassment. Harassment is the action that you attack or you do something not polite. Quậy rầy. Now the next word, primarily is of effort. Scarcity. Unscrupulous. Well connected. Now the first word, primarily, means it means that you have to do the most. Number 15. I'm sorry. Now the words scarcity. It means that the shortfall. It means that you don't have enough, lack of. Number 16. Unscrupulous. It means that you do something very carelessly. It is attitude, so be careless or without principle. Cái gì làm việc không cẩn thận, không có nguyên tắc. So you can use the word không cẩn thận, thiếu cẩn thận. Yes. Now number 7, well connected. It means that you have a good relationship with a famous person or maybe with a rich person in the society. So in the test, they use the word well connected means quan hệ với những người có vị trí hoặc là có giàu có. Now the last word you have to study today is inspire. This word is an attitude. The meaning is cảm hứng, truyền cảm hứng hoặc đầy cảm hứng. Now that's all for the vocabularies of the unit number 4. So I want you to practice pronunciation and use some words in your sentences in order to improve the vocabularies. Now the next part of the reading. Now look at the title, reviewing a speech. It means that it is a speech of the famous person. Now look at the sentence. The identity of the Hungarian artist accepting the Nobel Peace Prize. It means that she is very famous. She gets a prize. She wrote a lot of things relating to the rights of the people in her country. And right now you have to study related to her activity. Now in the test, I give you some main idea, and you have to skim the test and find information, fill in the gap. This information related to the famous person. Now the first, who is the speaker? Who is the narrator? Yes, her name is Kikuyu. Yes, right. Thank you. Now where is she from? It means her country origin is Kenya. Where is it? Where is Kenya? I think that it is the continent of the Africa. In Africa, it means that in Africa the life of the people very poor. So she is the a person, the first woman who want to try to get the right for the women in her country. Now number 3, when she heard what women wanted, her response was land. Why? Land is important in her speech. Because in this country, forest is the more important. So tree is very important. Then it related to the title of the reading, Trees for Democracy. It means that she wants to change her democracy. So the answer is trees. Now the next, number 4. She did this to have heal the land and break the cycle of what? Heal the land, it means that the land is very dry. She wants to make something bad for the land in order to have the people live better. And now break the circle of what? It means that the people in Africa is very poor and the land is very terrible. So she wants to break the cycle of poverty. Yes, poverty, do you know the word poverty? Poverty is means that very poor, in the situation of the poor. When she wants to break the circle of poverty, it means that she wants to create a movement, some activity. So what does she call her movement? It is the Green Belt movement. Now Green Belt movement, what does it mean? It means that she wants to plant a lot of trees along her country, cover her country in order to make the fresh air for the country. Besides the making the air fresh, tree can have the people in her countries improve their life. So the Green Belt is the most important movement in her country. Now the next, in the test, there are a lot of new words. You have to pay attention to the explanations and to have to use the correct form of the word in the blank. They give you the word silt, but you have to change the form of the word to fill in the gaps. For example, in this situation, the soil is parched, and so what past speed do you use here? You can use the word silt, but you use adjective because the parallel in this is parched, and the words suitable for growing food. You can use the word suitable because it is the negative, okay, parched, very dry, and the word unsuitable is better than the word suitable. Although you use the correct form of the word, but you have to pay attention to the meanings of the sentence. Now number 2, the word nutrition. Nutrition is the noun, so what part do you use here? In this, you have to use drinking water and food, but what kind of food? So you have to use adjectives here. So what is the adjectives of nutrition? Nutritious is the adjectives of the words. So the answer is nutritious food. Now number 2, erode. Erode is the verb. Okay, is the verb. So to break apart or break down is ăn mòn, xoài mòn. And what part of speak do you use here? Tree stop soiled. So this is the noun. What is the noun of erosion? It is erosion. The noun erosion of the verb erode. Soil erosion. Tree can stop soil erosion. What does it mean? Tức là cây có thể ngăn chặn được cái sự xói mòn của đất. Okay. Now the next, number 3, conserve. Conserve is the verb. You don't know the word, the meanings of the word conserve? Yes, it means that opposite of the word erode. It means that you protect, you make something better. Now look at the sentence, leading to water. So what past speech do you use here? I think that is a noun. Okay, what is a noun of conserve? It means that's conservation. Water conservation. What does it mean? Bảo quản nước. Tức là các anh chị làm sao đó mà làm cho nước sạch. Now number 4. Number 5. Ecology. Ecology is a noun. So in this gaps, what is the functions of the ecology? So it stands before the nouns. So it is an adjective. So what is the adjectives of ecology? Yes, okay, it is ecological. So they have you to change the words, change the letter Y into I and add the prefix, suffix O to becomes the adjective. So ecological threat. What does it mean? The effects of ecological threat. Tức là sự ảnh hưởng của những cái căng thẳng về sinh thái. It means that the environment. All right. Now the next, number 6, primary. Primary. In this situation, it is an adjective. Now in this position, what past speech do you use? Of course, you have to use a noun because thousand of group of women. So it is a noun in this situation. Made up 1,000 of groups. So the words primary, you can use the words primarily of woman. Now in this situation, primarily is an adverb, okay, because it modifies for the idea after the whole sentence. 1,000 of group, 1,000 of women. So this is an adverb. Now the next, number 7. Degrade. Degrade is a verb. So you have to change the form of the word to match the suitable here. So what word do you use here? Yes, that, see that, environmental. So of course it is a noun. So the nouns of degrade is degradation. Degradation is mean that you make something worse. Now the next, number 8, deteriorate. This is the verb. Now look at the gaps. Can you guess what past speed can you use here? Growing crop on the steep mountain slopes lead to length. So of course it is the nouns. It is the noun. Deterioration. Tức là sự xấu đi của những cái dạng đất. Growing crop trong những cái cây dọc theo những cái bờ núi dốc, dẫn tới những cái khu đất. Yes. Become worse. Now the next, number 9, forest. Do you know forest? It is a big part in the country. Now in this situation, what part of speech do you use here? Of course, it is the subject of the sentence. So you have to use the noun for this position. Forest. Forest is a noun, but you can use the other words to use the meanings of the sentence. Causing river to dry up. It means that deforestation. It means that you have to make the ways for the river it means that you cut down some tree, and the actions of cutting down some tree cause the river bad worse. No water in the river. Phá rừng. Take away or make worse. Now the next, number 10, advocate. Advocate, what does it mean? It is a noun, refer to the person who support and work for an idea. Là những người biện hộ. We have just learned about it. Now in this situation, what part of speech do you use here? This is a noun, but you have to use another noun to fill in the gap. Public education, political, and protest. So you have to use a noun here. Advocacy and protest. We so sought to protest open space. Now the next, number 11, harass. Harass is the verb, means annoy or bother or attack someone. In this situation, in this gap, what past speech do you use here? It is the nouns for democracy and environmental rights. And what do you use here? It is the harassment. Harassment, beating, death threats, and jail time follow. It means that some situation happen in the society. Harassment, thì quậy rối. Now the next, number 12, desert. It is a big part in the planet. So desert in the situation, what do you use here? in that situation is a noun. You have to relate to the idea we face the ecological crisis of deforestation, crisis of desertification, and the words water scarcity. Tức là các anh chị đang làm khủng hoảng với những cái tình hình như là phá rừng, làm xấu đi hoặc là thiếu hàng hạn nước. Now the next. Right now you understand some of the new words of the reading. You have 10 minutes to read the text. On page number 261 to 263. Now after reading, you have to find out some information to prove that the statement is false or not. Now, in this situation, you have to decide what is right or wrong depends on the written text, not depends on the real life. Now, number one, look at the information in this. Can you get? Where does it appear in the reading? Yes, okay. It appears in paragraph A. Okay. Now read and find out information. What information appear in paragraph? Okay, paragraph B. Appear in paragraph B. Now number 3 is appear in paragraph E, and the last appear in paragraph G. Now after you decide the place of the information, and right now you have to answer the reason why. Now there is no new problem with the land central killer or any place else. It's just the same now as 30 or 40 years ago. The earth doesn't change. The earth doesn't change. So tell me, it is right or wrong? The earth doesn't change. No, that is not correct, because there was not the word for the red. It means that the world changed a lot. Before, they don't see any desert in the land, in the country, but right now deserts appear and the earth changed a lot. Tức là trước đây thì không có cái từ mà sa mạc trong đất nước, mà bây giờ đã có, tức là có sự thay đổi của vị trí. Now the next, number 2 in paragraph B. Now tree, who care about tree? Women like tree because they serve for practical use at all, or they can eat a tree. So tell me the evidence to prove that it is the 4. Okay. Now today you have to find out information to prove that you need the clean water. In the old time, you have plenty of crop and more grazing land for animals. But right now, it is a problem. So today you have to improve the qualities of the life. Now number 3, in paragraph E, so you have to pay attention to the lady who wrote this speech sound like a troublemaker. Troublemaker, what does it mean? A person who usually makes some trouble, who cause some problem. They said in the newspaper that she put in the jail and beaten by the police. So she must have done bad thing. Do you think so? She made trouble. She is a troublemaker. So he was put in the jail and beaten by the police because she might have done the bad thing. Tức là cô ta làm việc xấu cho nên bị giam vào trong tù và bị cảnh sát phạt. So it is right or wrong? Of course it is not. Because the president of the country was a corrupt dictator. It means that he is a bad person, and he didn't want her to protest or to do something bad for the women in the country. He put her in the jail and consent her. He observed her all the time in order to prevent some movement in his country. Now number 4, in paragraph G. Why is it Green Belt movement push for democracy? Pushing for democracy. It means that make something better for the democracy. Now, this is the answer. Deforestation will link to the corrupt policies of President Turmoil because he wants to get some benefit for him. So the person in the countries have to suffer a lot of unequal in the society. So they have to go on strike to gain the rights for themselves in their country. In order to get this, they have to stop this policy. It means that corrupt policy, chính sách mục nát. So they have to change the life of the women in the country. Now the next. So after discussing, you have to pay attention to the words, the form of the words in a sentence. It is an adjective, a noun, a verb, or an adjective, because it is very important for you to understand the content of the sentence or the content of the text. Now on the table, I give you some words. You have to find out the adjective, the noun, or the adverb of the word. Some words are used across, it means that no form of the word in that gets. Now the first, the word corrupt. What is the adjective? Yes, corrupt. Now the noun, corruption, and the adverb, corrupty. The word democratic times. What is the adjective of this word? Democratic. Dân chủ. Maybe it's undemocratic or democratic. The opposite meaning. Now what is the nouns of democratic? Democracy, and the adverb is democratically. Now you have to pay attention to the word adjective, democratic, and the adverb democratically. When the words ending in the sound ik, you have to X the word co and change it into adverbly. Democratic, democratically. Now the word develop. What is the adjective? Developmental. The noun development, and the adverb is developmentally. The adverb, the word disappear. Maybe you can use the word disappear is the adjective with the form of the verb in past participle. But in this situation, you don't need to use it. Now the noun, what is the noun of disappear? Disappearance. Now disappearance, what does it mean? Sự biến mất. Okay. Now ecological. What is the noun of it? It is ecology. Now what is the adverb? It is ecologically. Yes, I think another next, educate is adjective. Educate, you can use verb in the past participle, and maybe it's adjective. Educated and educational. Now please pay attention to the word pronunciation of the word educate, not edu. Educate, educated, educational. What is the noun? It is education. And what is the adverb? Educationally. Now the next word, encourage. What does it mean, encourage? It means that you make someone want to do something better. You support, cổ vũ, động viên. Encouraging. Now encouragement. Now the next, energize. You hear some sounds very familiar with you. Energy. Okay. So the adjective is energetic, and the noun is energy. The child is usually the verb. Now the next, what is the adjectives of the environment? It is the environmental adverb. Environmentally. Fertilize. What does mean fertilize? The adjective, the noun, and fertilize means that you make the sand or the land better. Tức là các anh chị chăm bón, độ phân. Now globalize. What is the adjective? Global. The nouns. Globalization. Adverb. Globalize. Global and globally. Okay. From the adjective, you change into the adverb. You have to use the Specifically, improve, improved, now, improvement, inspire. Inspire, you can use verb in participle and adjective. Inspire and inspirational. Now, inspiration. The verb manage. What is the adjective? Managerial. Management. Protest. Protestic or unprotestic. You can use the negative or positive meanings for the word protest. The noun. Protection. Protest. Protest different. Now the next is the noun. Protestation, protestant. It's the person who protests someone. Now the next, protestingly. Recognize. The adjectives are recognizable. Now, recognition. Now the word irascible. This means that the negative of the word responsibility. Responsibility and the adverb responsibly. Now when you use the adverb for the word o, you have to use the e. So you omit one sound. Irresponsible. Irresponsibly, not bully. Scare. The nouns of scare. Scarcity. Now adverb scarce. Now the next word wooden. Unix and goodly. Now I'm sorry, this was carefully. Maybe some mistake in it. I'm sorry. Now the next. After you understand the form of the words, the word families is very important for you. So right now I want you to try your best to look at the definition and to find out the word. But it's the compound word. Combine two words together to make the new word. People living at home. So you can use the word home and the words house, household. The person who living in a home, tức là người chủ nhà. The next does on the highest part of the ground. So how can you combine? It means that the word topsoil. Topsoil tức là phần đất ở phía trên, cao nhất phần của cái chóp. What come from the sky? What come down from the sky? A lot of things from the sky. Maybe the rain, maybe the clouds. But in this snow, maybe in this they use the words rainfall. Okay, mưa, lượng mưa. Now the next number 4, having powerful friend. You can use the word well connected. In the text, they use the word well connected. It means that you have a good relationship with the rich. Now the next number 5, on across the globe. What does it mean on across the globe? It means that worldwide. Globe, it means that you from this area to the other areas of the globe. It means that worldwide, rộng khắp. Now that's all for the first part, and right now you have to go to the next part. Move on to the next part. Reading skill and strategy. Now the second part of the reading is the next title, next topic, a revolution in medicine. Because you study about the breakthrough, so medicine is one of the field we need some breakthrough in order to kill the people, in order to treat the people, in order to reduce some disease in the society. So we have to study something related to the title, A Revolution in Medicine. Now, I give you some questions and you have to discuss with your friends. Now look at the question, what does the word code mean? When and where are code used? What does the genetic code determine? Where is it located? And what is DNA? Do you know DNA? Yes, it's something relating to the body of the people to recognize something. What is the gene? So these 4 questions you have to discuss with your friends. Now we go to the first question. What does the word code mean? The word code means a way to hold or send information. What? Tức là cái mã hoặc là những cái mật mã. When and where code are used. Before they usually use in the militaries and in order to send or to read the message. Đánh mật mã. Now right now in the trees they use a lot of code. What does the genetic code determine? Yes. The genetic code determine the physical characteristic of a person. Tức là cái bản chất, thể chất của ai đó, xác định ra được thể chất của một người. Where is it located? It's located in DNA. Now what is DNA? DNA is it is the chromosomes with the shape of spiral, and its carried chain determines physical characteristics of a person. Tức là một cái chất cơ bản mà có hình xoắn để mà mang cái gen xác định được cái bản chất cái thể chất của một con người. Now what is gene? Yeah, gene is a segment, một phần nhỏ của DNA carrying instruction, nó mang theo cái cấu trúc guiding development and behavior of the cell, hướng dẫn sự phát triển và cách cư xử của một tế bào trong cơ thể con người. Now that's all for the discussion of the question, and right now you have to go into the detail of the reading. It means that you have to understand some of the new words. Now on the blackboard, can you recognize some new words? I give you the pronunciation, the definition, and you get the meanings of the word. Now the first word. Yes, okay. Less serve, not stopping or becoming less serve. Không nguôi, không bớt. Now the second, fatigue. It means that mệt mỏi. Now the second, the third, number third, hereditary. Given a child by its parent. It means that di truyền, được đứa bé truyền từ ba mẹ khi được sinh. Okay. Now the next, hemostasis. Hemostasis. What does it mean? It means that sự cầm máu. Yes, it means that you have to use some equipment to stop blood from running, bleeding. Now number 5, concentration. Genetic. Biopsy. Gauge. Now the first word, concentrate. Yes. Tập trung, sự tập trung. Genetic. Sự di truyền học is an adjective. Now the next word is sinh thiết. Do you know the word sinh thiết? Biopsy. It means that you have to take some tissues in the body, in the cells, in order to check or check the disease of the person. Sinh thiết. Now the next, gauge. It means that an instrument to measure or to test something, máy đo. Pharmaceutical. Yes, very easy for you to get the meanings of the word. Yes, dược khoa. Now, congenital. What does it mean? Sinh or before birth. Bệnh bẩm sinh. Existing là tồn tại từ khi sinh, từ khi hoặc là trước khi sinh, bệnh bẩm sinh. Congenital. Nothing but thyroid is tuyến giáp, a small organ in the body. Now the next, trao đổi chất. Metabolic. Retardation. What does it mean? Sự chậm trễ. Yes. Catastrophic. What does it mean? Event which there is a lot of destruction. Thảm họa. Destruction. It means that you make something bad. A terrible event. Now inherit. Receive money. It means that very good for the words inherit. It means that receive something from the other people when they die. Thừa hưởng, thừa kế. Now that's all for the words. I think that the vocabularies of this unit is are very difficult. because it's relating to the mason. So be careful to read the text and learn the new words. Now the next we have to learn some word relating to the reading, because I just gave you the new words and right now the word related to the text. Now look at the sentence, the words half dead. What does it mean, half dead? Yes, it is the sickly. It means that you nearly die sickly. Now the next, number 2, the word started making sense. It means that at that time it's easy for you to do something. Yes, become easy to understand. Making sense, it means that you understand the problem. You have some meanings, full information. Now the next, number 3, the words take her concerns more seriously. It means that tức là cô ta quan tâm mọi vấn đề rất là nghiêm trọng. Pay attention to her problem. Quan tâm tới vấn đề nhiều hơn. Now the next word, not a procedure to be taken lightly. What does it mean? It means that not a cause of affection to be worried about. It means that nothing happened, no worry about anything. Number 5, go that route. It means that you have to do something depends on that weight or that method. In this situation, you have to use the word have that door to her. It means that you have to do that for her. Go that route, have that door to her. Now the next, number 6. Can spot. Can spot. It is the drop of the blood. It means that you can't able to find. You can find out. You can spot. It means not able to find. Number 7. The words span, lifespan. What does it mean, lifespan? She should live a normal lifespan. It means that the typical number of years before dying. Một khoảng thời gian trong cuộc sống. Life, it means a distance or a period of time. Now number 8. Pharmaceutical. What does it mean? Yes, it means that the bring about the production of large number. Now the next will be routine. You know the word routine. Will be routine. It means that you do something just like your habit. It means that a common practice. Only handful. Only a handful. It means that something in your hand. So it is a small number. Now, right now, you have to recover the new words in the text and read the text from page number 208 to 210. 10 minutes to read the text. Now, after reading the text, you have to look at the information and recognize this is the fact or the opinion. Now, please tell me what is the fact and what is the opinion. The fact, it means that something real, something appear in the society. And our opinion, it means that the idea of a person. Now, when you look at the sentence, how can you recognize it is a fact or opinion? Now, number 1, that is the fact. Why? The more common genetic units, it is the real units in the society. So this is the fact. Now, number 2. Opinion. Why? Because of the word properly. It means that you guess something happened, you use the word properly. It means that your own opinion. Now number 3, it is fact. Why do you think it is fact? Because the scientists isolated the genes and develop the test that can spot it in the past. It means that the real thing the scientists have done in the past. It means that it is the fact. Number 4, it is the opinion. Why do you think that it is the opinion? Because the words if. You can use the word if for the fact. If it means that your hypothesis. Giả thiết, giả định. Okay. Now number 5. It is fact opinion. It is the opinion because of the word will Okay, because we don't know it is the real in the life or not. We'll choose the first. Number 6, it is opinion. The same, you have to use the word will. Will be cured at the molecule level before they arise. So you guess what will happen in the future. Now number 7, yes, it is the fact. Because 8 years they have done something, they do something for the country. Now number 8, it is the fact, yes, because the newborn baby in the United States routine check. It is the routinely checked sickle cell. It is the real in the life. The real, it happens usually in the society. Now number 9, it is the fact because the word if they are detected early, it is a hypothesis, là giả thiết. Now number 10, it is the fact. Why? Why can you recognize it is the fact? Because they use whether you guess it, but also how respond to. Liều có không? So you're not sure. Not only, it means that you're sure about this, you determine. Yes, Jen have you determine. It means that it is the certain action you have to do. It means that it is the fact. Now the next, number 11, it is opinion. So the word will, it is opinion. In order to review the old lessons, you have to fill in the gaps with a small test. Now first of all, I give you some new words. Now look at the new words. It's easy for you. You have a study and right now use the words in the gaps. Now the first word, detection, yes. Now the second, respond to, yes, good. Now number 3, benefit. Now number 4, what word do you use? Okay, researcher, spread fast researcher. Now the number 5, now the sentence is spreading fast and researchers are now learning to predict. I'm sorry, so you don't have to come to the new life. Now learn to predict. Okay, now the last, what is it? Analyze. That can analyze thousands of genes at the time. Number 7. Okay, vision. My vision is that. Number 8. Sequence. What does it mean? Will be sequenced at birth. My version is that everyone will be sequenced at birth. Say Dr. Ray, University in Chicago. They get CD-ROMs with their children genetic. Now the last one. Sequence. Yes, good. Một chuỗi. Now part 3, focus on the test. Now I want you to practice speaking in the class by using these small topic. I think that you have some idea about the breakthrough, and you yourself have some breakthrough. So you have to use these questions to discuss with your friends, and after 10 minutes you have to present your idea in order to compare your opinion to your parents, to your friends. Now, after discussion, you have to do the homework at home, answer the questions, learn the new word, read the test again, and write some questions related to the test. Why I asked you to write some questions related to the test? If you write the question, it means that you understand the test and you want to discuss with the other people related to the topic. And that's all for the lesson today. Thank you.